the most important takeaway was the ability to have somebody lead us through a process. I think what we recognize at Friends Life is that everybody can't be great at everything, and so having experts to help us through a process to get organized and to really get a jump start on these ideas and plans that we had was incredibly beneficial.
Yeah, I think it was a very worthwhile experience for me. You hear a lot about incubators and different ways that businesses can kind of come to fruition, both in the for-profit and nonprofit worlds. And I would say that this is extremely valuable to me to see the ways in which the coaching and the best practices are injected into an idea from its most fundamental state all the way to a business plan. So it was great.
The best part of participating in the Social Enterprise Catalyst was just the guided assistance that they offered through the process. Nonprofit's very different from business. We have a lot of things that overlap and dovetail, but not necessarily in the same way that you might start an off-the-ground program. So I think that the advice that Sean and Dave and Kim and the whole process offered was really helpful.
We actually came away with a implementable business model in record time. I think we're all very proud of, and I think it's surprising how it evolved so fully and completely.
And I would like to add that the clarity that there's really a need in the marketplace for what it is that we're creating, I think that came out of today as well.
Early on, I realized how complicated putting a business plan together is, and there's a lot of hardships along the way, a lot of difficulty, and that's the best thing to me about working with CauseImpact. You know, Sean really helped me get through those difficult times when I just didn't know if I could do it, and so it's been a really great experience, and their support and just talking me through those difficulties was really amazing.
It's a lot of work, so being a part of the program is a lot of work. You do have to challenge your assumptions, you have to challenge what you think you know about your organization, and what sometimes you think is the best idea may not necessarily be the biggest money generator.
Do come with an open mind. We came with a lot of ideas, and they were quickly dispelled as we went deeper into what the real marketplace was and what the needs of our clients were. And it really landed in a place I would have never have assumed when I stepped into this model. So I'm really appreciative that CNM took a chance on us anyway, even if we came kind of half-baked. And we came out of the end with, I think, a really powerful model.
And one thing I'll add to that is the importance of bringing a good team to the table. Having the right skill sets, having the depth of skill sets was really critical to us having the successful model that we think we have now.
I agree with that too, and I think what I saw is some real, almost magic between having that skilled team from our board members and bringing our program team and having those conversations about the business model, what really works for clients, bringing it back to reality, what our clients really need. And I think hammering that and having those conversations, we really have come up with something that I think creates a lot of social capital, solves a social problem, and also creates value and profit.
I think from the representing the client side of things, it was really great to talk about really what our clients go through, and having other people both on staff and our board members really get an even better picture of really what it's like to be faced with homelessness here in Nashville.
Yeah, I would say that I like the intersection of for-profit best practices into the non-profit, non-for-profit community. I think that there are elements of creativity and capital that can be embraced in the nonprofit community that often don't get recognized or realized, that can perpetuate an idea much further than if it was strictly based on a surplus and deficit perspective.
Yes, exactly. I think that it's often taken for granted that we can't sell our mission, and I think a lot of times in nonprofits, it's assumed that if you have a mission, something that you really believe in, that it doesn't have the same value as something that is for profit. And we were just really excited to be able to prove that that isn't true, and we believe that what our mission is something that is very valuable.
And I think it's a brilliant team, and I think Sean And Dave did an amazing job of walking us through the entire process and really bringing that thoughtfulness and challenging us throughout the process.
Obviously, revenue and sustainability for these organizations is always a challenge, but it's a great incubator for new ideas and that not only benefit the constituents for the not-for-profit organizations, but also the sustainability of the organization itself.
I think social enterprise is a very important avenue as nonprofits look at ways to reduce the amount of contributed revenue they need and increase the amount of earned revenue potential they have. I don't think it's necessarily right for every nonprofit, but I think it's a question every nonprofit should ask. Great.
It's a way for us to give back to the community. We're very excited about what is happening in the social enterprise arena, and we want to be on the cutting edge of hearing the new ideas and also just being a support mechanism or support for those organizations and the individuals involved.
Perfect. We felt like the nonprofits were exploring this and they really needed some kind of coaching and expertise along the way. And we felt like this model was a great model. It's a group learning model. It's a shared learning model. And we've seen the results of it in the last couple of cohorts, and we're excited about the future.
So I think nonprofits are the social innovators from the start. We always have been. And this is just another way of framing it and thinking about it. I think that most nonprofits are not just trying to do crisis, but are trying to prevent people from getting into crisis. And we play a major role in seeing the landscape and coming up with real long-term solutions. To do that, we need to innovate and we need to be brave, and creating a social enterprise is just one way to attack that elephant.
You know, I would just encourage other nonprofits to definitely look into CauseImpact, because there's so much more possible than you probably realize for your foundation or for your nonprofit, and this certainly was the case for us.